I just need to get more salt in the water that I drink.
You need more salt or less salt?
No, more. That's what I hear. If you don't want to sweat, you need to put salt in your water.
Well, if you do want to sweat, you got to do Tybo. That's what I learned as an 8th grader.
Billy Banks. Most of these people only know that Billy Banks is in a Geico commercial.
Oh, yeah, he is. Man, wait.
Thanks to our sponsor.
Billy Banks.
Oh, I was going to go Geico.
Oh.
But you went with Billy Banks. We have the likelihood of getting more money out of Billy than we do Geico.
Wait.
Prove it.
We're getting money for this? I haven't seen any of it.
Oh. Welcome to all of our Patreon subscribers.
Thank you so much. We're so
Thank you
excited
so
to have you
much.
here. And
We love it.
And I'll tell you this. You're the only thing that matters to us. The only thing.
None of them other jokers.
No, I'm talking about, what's his name? Jared Leto,
He
Jack
doesn't matter.
Nicholson.
They don't matter to us.
Heath Ledger.
They don't care about
us. Joaquin Phoenix. None of those jokers matter to us.
Wait, it's pronounced walking?
Walking Phoenix. Yeah, it's a movie by
Rising from
Nicolas
the
Cage.
ashes, but walking
Nicolas
mostly.
Cage. Raising Arizona, Walking Phoenix. This is a sequel.
Oh, man. Raising Arizona. Such a good movie.
I've only seen the end of it.
What?
I've only seen the end of it.
It helps if you say it again, because that's what I said.
That's
for
so
it.
good.
Hey, welcome to the Explain Everything podcast. My name's Tyler Tarver.
And I'm Neil Schmadefrausch.
It's not
It
true.
rhymes with Kahoot.
Oh,
We're so excited you're here.
Inside jokes.
Here's the deal. You're on the
Neil.
Patreon, so we're like on the regular one, we give you about like 40% of us. Here we're going to give you 70%.
Unhinged, right? No, you couldn't handle.
You can't handle
100%.
the personalities.
Nope. This is a little podcast that we're really only doing for each other, but we're glad you guys are here.
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely accurate.
Somebody texted me yesterday, a longtime listener, and they said, "Man, we're really, really glad that you guys are back together." And I said, "I'm not doing this for you."
And it is Edward, right? He's the only person I've ever met
No,
that
he
knows
lives in
that.
St. Louis, and he listens to every
What?
episode.
Okay.
We're worldwide. I don't know if you know where St. Louis is.
Prestige Worldwide.
Steve Murphy,
When
thank
we-
you so much.
Steve Murphy. Okay. Steve Murphy. I don't know who that is.
He's great.
Oh, I do know Steve Murphy.
Steve Murphy.
Yes. I thought for a second, I was like in my head, I
Nook
thought
podcast.
of, you know what I thought? I thought Eddie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother. What was his name? Charlie Murphy.
Steve.
I was like, maybe it's a third brother I don't know about.
Steve.
Are they related? Is Steve Murphy related to them?
He should, yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Charlie Murphy.
Thanks,
Get
Steve.
your feet off my couch. Okay. So what are we talking about today? What are we explaining today?
It's pronounced explaining.
Esquire Beast.
Yes.
We're talking about Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
We're like, what is a Mr. Beast? It is a guy named Jimmy Donaldson, and he is a YouTuber. And you know what I love about him is that he has a name, and so does the amazing Joseph Tilley. They both have names, and one of them did our intro. Take it, Jimmy.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast. Now officially your 4th favorite podcast. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you go to patreon.com/explain everything to get exclusive episodes. Looks like we made it.
Jimmy Tilley, thanks, man, for that sick beat.
Jimmy Tilley. You know what? I don't think Joseph is his real name. I don't think Joseph is his government name. I don't think he listens to our podcast. I mean, he was on one of our podcasts.
We've given him more. He was.
He was,
Yeah,
remember?
more shout outs than anyone. And Joseph, not listening.
Listen. And he's definitely not on the Patreon.
Well, he's a long-time non-listener. Long-time
Edward, if you're listening to this, clip this. I like how we reference like 2 humans that we know in real life that they don't know. But they barely know us. But they're about to know Mr. Beast. Okay, so why does it matter? Why do you need to know who Mr. Beast is?
We should tell him everything we know.
You know what? I'll tell you. Okay, I'm gonna tell him why he's important. Is because he's probably gonna be the first YouTube billionaire. Neil, tell us everything you know about Mr. Beast.
I just learned that he's probably going to be the first YouTube billionaire.
Okay. Rewind. Be Kind, rewind. Starring Jack Black and Mos Def.
So good.
Okay. Scroll back in your history. Tell me everything you know about Mr. Beast before I just had that world-changing definition.
Take me there. I don't know.
You take me there.
He's,
Debt left shrimp.
we're going to go together.
Like we said, too many pop culture references, movie references. What is it? What is the thing that
endless movie quotes.
endless movie quotes? Can we make that the subtitle of our show? Endless movie quotes. Okay, go ahead. What do you know?
Well, I know his name's Jimmy.
Okay, but did you know that before?
Yeah, I actually did.
Okay, sick. Did you know his last name?
No.
50% fail. What else do you know about him?
I'm learning. Well, I know that okay, so he's very, very different from Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain is going to do hey, we're going to go do this today because I was going to go do it anyways. Mr. Beast is a fantastic idea that is crazy and off the wall, and it takes a lot of production value and time.
Absolutely. I knew him first as I will put myself through anything guy. Like the first video I ever saw of him, he said Logan Paul's name, I think it was 100,000 times on a video. He legit, which that was actually one of his first viral videos, but which we're going to talk about in a second, but the first one I saw of him, he looked like, do you remember in Lost whenever they made that kid who was dating Ben's daughter, like sit in front of the thing with his eyes open for like 2 days, and it looked like that, but he's saying Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Logan Paul. Because
did he have a clicker or a counter, or he just said it for as many times as he could for a certain amount of time?
No, he was going for 100,000.
Oh my gosh!
And I think he live streamed it.
Logan doesn't deserve that.
There were certain points where he fell asleep saying it, and then he would wake up.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and I got Logan Paul's attention, I think.
Well, it's one way to do it.
He called his name enough.
Or the algorithm did it.
One of the two. One of the two.
How old is he?
Right now, he's around 23 years old, give or take exactly 23 years old. So here's the thing about Mr. Beast. When people think of a YouTuber, they're like, oh, it's a YouTuber. He's on the YouTubes. Like, that's all he does. This dude is, we talk about Emma. Emma was an entrepreneur. A lot of them are entrepreneurs, which means that they don't have a company they work for. They do their own things.
Do their own.
But he owns a business. He's got 30 employees.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Beast.
From this.
Yes. And, well, across his company. So he's got, his main YouTube channel, but then he's got multiple YouTube channels underneath it. He's a philanthropist. We're going to talk about some of the stuff he's done to, like, help others.
Wow.
I think one of the things about him, we talked about Emma, we talked about how relatable she is. And I'm going to talk about her a lot because I think it's fun to compare these types of YouTubers because they're two of the top YouTubers in the world, but they're very different in what they do. He is, whenever you watch his videos, he seems like his big thing are like, what is the thing that I can take this even higher? What's something you could never do? Like, I'm going to open up a free car dealership where I give free cars to people. Like,
he did that?
Yes. That's one of my favorite. It's actually one of my favorite videos he's done. So
that can't be cheap.
No, everything. He actually says that he operates his main channel at a loss. He loses money from his main channel, but he supplements it with, he's got a gaming channel. He's got a, YouTube Shorts channel.
Okay, so he's got multiple channels. It's not just all one.
Yes. Okay. And so here's the thing. And I saw an interview with him when he first kind of started taking off. He's like, all I've ever wanted to be is a YouTuber. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take every dollar I make and I'm going to funnel it back into my company. Like he literally
guarantee you're still a YouTuber.
Exactly, because he funnels it into his things and everything he does. It's just like at this point, it's the extremes. Used to it was the extremes of like, what can I put my body through, and then now it's become what can I do that people are going to be like, I will not see this happen anywhere. He is like his own walking Guinness Book World Record.
So he's not like a vlogger that I'm going to go out and I'm going to Casey Neistat this thing. This is very, very different.
No, it is a company doing production, but it's a guy. So here's the deal. He is the 11th most subbed YouTuber on YouTube.
For real?
Yes. Now, of those, he is number 2 if you're looking at like one dude YouTube channel, because the others are like, what was it? What's the one in India that's number 1? What's the name of it?
Is it like Bollywood something?
But yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So you're looking at companies, you're looking at production. They're like tossing, like they've got it's a whole production company. Okay. So he's second total subs behind PewDiePie, which one of the things that helped him was he did this whole campaign to help PewDiePie beat that the India company.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He did a big thing, Mr. Beast did. So he's second behind PewDiePie, which PewDiePie is not USA based. He is outside the US. So he is actually the number 1 YouTuber in the world, the opposite of in the world, in the USA, that is a singular person. He has 66 million subs on his main channel. He has over 113 million subs combined, over 16.5 billion views on the platform.
All right, now that seems like a lot, but what are we at?
I mean, we are, give or take, 16.5 billion. We're the same, give or take 16.5 billion.
Give or
views.
take 16.5. That's
Billion.
a lot. Yeah, he's doing really, really well.
Yeah, he funnels it all back into it. His first viral video was in 2017, so he's fairly new.
Similar to Emma Chamberlain. Same year.
Yep, and they're almost similar in age. It was same year they started popping off on the channel. He counted to 100,000.
That's his first viral video.
First viral video, counted to 100K. It took him 40 hours straight to do it. Now, he had to speed the video up because YouTube limits you to 24 hours for a video, so he had to speed it up a little bit. But then a month later, because that was his first viral video, but he had made hundreds of videos before that. He had done vlogs. He had done Minecraft videos. He had never had real success. No, I think he got up to he had a couple hit near the end. He got up to 30K subs. And then this one hit and he popped off. And then a month later, he counted to 200,000. It took him 55 hours. What that one action says, you're putting your body through the ringer.
Yeah, that's mentally, you're
going through it. And he was willing to double down on it because he was like, if that's going to help me grow that much, I'm going to lean into that. And I'm going to do whatever it takes. That is the definition of Jimmy Donaldson, is that he will find what works and he will double down. He will give it his all.
That's crazy.
Yes. He made 100 Minecraft videos that nobody's ever seen.
That's like a stunt man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm probably going to break some bones or do some permanent damage to my body. But so apparently people are wanting to watch that.
Yeah. It's like Fear Factor, but he can control it, is what it is. So whenever he did an interview with Casey Neistat.
This snake. Or count to 200,000. Give me that snake.
Give me that snake, bro. Seriously.
Wow.
Which would you rather? Would you rather? Okay.
Ooh.
Would you rather count to 100,000 in one sitting?
I would actually do that.
You would do that over it?
Yeah, I'd do that.
But okay, you don't get to make a video of it.
2, 3, 4.
I had an early YouTube video from 10 years ago where I had a fireplace going and I sat down with not a fedora. No, that's a fedora. And I sat down, I had this notebook and I go, I'd like to read you my poem. It's called 1 Million. And I open up the book and I go, 1, 2, 3.
How long did you go?
4. I went for 10 minutes and then I quit.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like that's...
Take that, Jimmy.
Yeah, take that, Jimmy. That's why he has...
He wasn't wearing a fedora, was he?
Nope. Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I didn't even make up the concept. I think I saw it on a TV show 10 years before that, and I was
so
stole
crazy.
it.
So what is he doing with all his money? This is not you said he's funneling it back into his company.
Yeah, he's funneling it back in, but he also is a huge philanthropist. He's given 100K plus to homeless people. He's done videos where one video he had a guy deliver pizza and gave him the house. He tipped him the house he was in.
What?
Yeah, he's done, he takes these things, literally go on YouTube and search his video titles, which will come in later when we do 3v3. We're going to pick our top 3 videos and we're going to challenge each other and see which one would win. So he's done that. He also did, back whenever COVID hit, it's this makes it a little harder for people to do videos. And a lot of YouTubers, like David Dobrik, that's when he quit doing videos. It was April, right after that.
His YouTube banner says subscribe for a cookie.
Yeah, it used to say subscribe or I'll take all your cookies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was great. He is, it's Emma makes fun of herself. It's almost like he has these things where he forces inside jokes on people. I remember seeing him when he was around, I think I caught him around 100,000 subs is whenever I first saw him. He was still kind of getting started, and they went to bought a storage building, and he he made fun of himself by pretending to be Jake Paul. He would be like, "Hey, what's up, Jake Paulers?" And he doesn't explain his jokes. It's he hits it and moves on, and it's you catch his inside jokes or you don't. He's not going to explain it to you, and I love that about him. And he hired 4 of his best friends, and they're in a bunch of his videos. So he constantly, it's him, a few of his buddies. And they're just hanging out, making videos. Colin and Samir recently went there, and they talked about, they're from California.
Yep.
They rolled in, and then they had to drive. They went to North Carolina, and then drove 2 hours. I think it's Greenville, where he's from.
Greenville.
And he's got this whole setup, and they're just there's not much to do here.
There's nothing else.
Because they're used to LA where there's always something to do.
Yeah.
And they go there and it's you just kind of stay focused on the video.
This is all there is to do.
That's all there is to do.
He definitely has a theme, I would say, because some of the, so one of the most popular videos he's done is anything you could fit in this circle, I will pay for. And it's just a red circle on the ground. But that was a year ago. And then he came back 2 months ago and said, anything you can fit in this triangle, I'll pay for. He's probably going to come up with some sort of a trapezoid.
Well, that's a great way to teach polygons. I'll tell you that right now. If I was still teaching geometry, that's what I would do.
Yep.
Yeah, he did one for just TikTok where he walked into a GameStop and bought everything in the store. Bought every item in the entire store he bought. And that was just for TikTok. Like, that's what he does. And how does he pay for it? He's not making, he's giving away $1 million in a video. How is he getting that? He's not getting $1 million from that video. Most of his videos, he's probably not getting $1 million from, even though he is like a Google preferred or YouTube preferred sponsor. I'll tell you where he gets it. It's from sponsorships. So he'll say, today's video is sponsored by blah, blah, blah. And everything they give him, he funnels into the video, either from the giveaway or whatever he's doing. He puts it into it. Now, he's not just, like we talked earlier about him being an entrepreneur, businessman, all this stuff that he does. He has things called the Mr. Beast Burger. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay, so there's only one Mr. Beast physical location, Mr. Beast Burger store. They took like some old burger store.
Does it still exist?
I don't even know.
I think it was just for that video.
Oh, really? Okay, so here's how that Mr. Beast Burger, which you can order. You can order it through delivery services like Uber Eats, things like that. You cannot eat it in a restaurant, but you can get it at multiple restaurants. You get the app or you go on, and it tells you restaurants that he partners with. You could go, I don't know any of his partners, but say Chili's. Okay, welcome to Chili's.
Welcome to Chili's. I knew it was coming.
You can order from Chili's, Uber Eats. They'll make his burger at Chili's and give you a Mr. Beast burger and ship it out, and they'll deliver it to your house. That is next level thinking. Have you heard of it? Did you ever see
really
the
smart.
finger on the app game that he did? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where he did a competition. You download an app, and you have to keep your finger on the app.
Yep.
And one of the funnest things, I didn't do the competition, but one of the funnest things was watching people who'd been sitting there for 20 hours with their finger on this app, and then somebody calls them, or their friend logs onto the computer and does something, and it connects to the phone automatically, and it kicks them off.
Oh, gosh.
And it's like the competition was, how long can you keep your finger on the app? And somebody did that it was to win $25K, and after 70 hours, 4 people had their finger on the app, so they gave it to all of them.
Oh, my God. Okay, so it seems as if a lot of the things that he is doing are like so completely on a different level. They're like fantastic. But then, okay, something like that, it's like he's making some of this accessible to real people. Like, hey, if you subscribe, I'll do this for you. Or, hey, like you said, like, hey, you deliver this pizza and I'll give you this house, or I'm going to tip you this or whatever. It's almost like he understands common man, but he also does things that none of us are ever going to be able to do. And I think that's intriguing.
Yes, and he is one of the best I've seen at making his audience a part of it. He did a video where it said for every view or for every like, I'm going to give my friend a penny. And it got millions of views, and his friend ended up making like $100,000 from it. So it's like me as an audience member, I go on and hit like, or I watch it. I'm getting his friend, like I'm a part of it. I'm a part of the process. And it's like, it's an ongoing thing you might want to come back and check on. The best TikToks I've ever made on like the Tarver Cards channel that get the most subs are the ones where we don't finish it. Like, okay, part 2. And I don't do it on purpose because people hate part 2s. But it's like, I'm doing something, I'm going through some cards. I'm like, oh, we're out of time. I'll put up the next one. That's when I get the most subs and the most views.
Really?
Because people want to see what's coming up next, and they have to follow to find me again. Because how many times have you gone on TikTok and you're watching a video like, oh, I want to watch that again, and you accidentally swipe up and it refreshes and you're like lost it forever.
Oh, yeah. It's frustrating.
So he is really good at making people come back to see more, and I think he's really good at that. So, sorry, I'm really emotional right now because Mr. Beast is my dad. I'm just kidding. That's so weird. He's not my dad. I call my dad Mr. Beast though now. He's actually Beast from X-Men. My dad.
For real?
Yeah, a lot of people know that.
I did not know that.
He was the actor that played Mr. Beast.
Oh.
Isn't
he blue?
He's 8 years younger than me, and he's blue, yes. I don't know how it worked.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Your dad is 8 years younger than you.
I feel like I had to be ridiculous because 1, my throat was giving out, and 2, I had been so serious talking about Mr. Beast.
It's kind of like like a lot of shows that people will watch or series or whatever, they're like, you got to hook people with this crazy idea or this whatever. You're like, oh no. Okay. So like Manifest, that show was on NBC for like 3 years, really got canceled, got put over on Netflix. Now so many people love it. They're trying to get it back, and they're actually in the process of doing that. Why? Because it's like, there's something really crazy about that show. It's not just a regular drama or whatever. The reason why is like, you almost want to see it like you would an episode of your show. Like you get to a cliffhanger and you're like, oh my gosh, like what is he going to do next?
Yep.
There is something about that.
Yep. And I think that shows that here's the problem with it. he's not ever going to be able to turn this into like a vlogging channel. Maybe.
No, there's zero
But like,
chance.
that's not what he's based around.
No, people
He
don't
would
want to see that.
No, he would have a huge drop. He would have to create a separate channel because here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's like, I call it the Grey's Anatomy effect. Grey's Anatomy started out and was like, oh no, we have relationships, blah, blah, blah. And then they had an episode where a bomb blew up in the hospital.
Yep.
And so it's like, once you start doing something crazy, if it works or if your audience thinks that's what
Gotta
they need to
keep doing
see,
it.
you've got to keep doubling down.
Right.
And it's like the problem with a lot of these like YouTubers, like what happened with Logan Paul, he kept having to up the ante. He's like, oh, I got a magician.
Difficult.
And then he's like, okay, now I'm going to pretend to get shot in front of a window in front of my fans. Like he had to keep making it crazy because he couldn't be like, hey, I'm going to Target today.
Yeah.
Because his audience is like, oh, cool. It's like whenever you would watch Friends and it's like flashback episode and it shows clips from other episodes. It's like, oh, they checked out this episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They needed to save money. You know what I mean? And it's like, he can't
do
go
it.
back to
No,
that.
he can't do it.
And so it's like he's kind of built this audience on these fantastical things.
I wonder if there's a lot of pressure. He has to feel pressure. with
Yes, he has to. I was reading a bunch of stuff, and he's had, a lot of his friends, like, they love him. He gives away money in competitions to
that.
people that work for
I
him.
love you.
It's like, oh, here you go. Here's a car. It's like, it's hard to fight. Like, oh, I'm mad at you because you ignored me this week on text. You were short with me on text, but you gave me a Plymouth. You know what I mean?
my God.
So it's like,
A Plymouth?
I don't know why that was the first thing that popped in my head. Plymouth
I
Prowler.
did. For all the people watching on YouTube, I actually did a double take on that one. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, well, it's you would think that his people would like him because they're in the videos, they're making money, but he's had a couple people that were disgruntled because they were like, when the camera goes off, he's a little more. He's a business. He's gonna run it like a business.
yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he should be nice all the time.
Every one of his thumbnails is the exact same face he makes.
He's like, oh my gosh, I've covered the backyard with fidget spinners. You know what I mean? So it's like, but
how he sounds?
yeah, huh, Mr. Beast, it's me.
Oh my gosh. I wonder. So a friend of mine has a lot of YouTube subscribers, too, and he two friends.
Oh, okay.
You and this other guy.
Retro Rick has more. Is that who you're talking
gosh,
about?
No.
Oh, okay.
And he talked about the pressure. I wonder. Okay, so this might be a crazy idea, Mr. Beast. When you watch this, you may. So it might be like some of the things that he does are fairly shocking or whatever, but I think if he were to do an episode where he is super honest about the amount of pressure that he feels to continue to make these hits, because he's going somewhere, it can only go, it can only go so far. Next up, he's going to be fighting somebody in a boxing ring for millions of dollars. It's the only place you can go with it.
He is the Fast and Furious franchise. That's what he is. We figured it out.
He's going to space.
He's going to space.
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, if they could go into the multiverse, there's really infinite possibilities.
There really is. That's what he needs. Mr. Beast in the multiverse. That's the only thing that's going to work.
That would be amazing. So has he done things that have been like super dangerous or haven't worked well, or?
I mean, he tried to do a fidget spinner for 24 hours. He wasn't
That doesn't
successful.
work.
He's tried a bunch of stuff that it fails or like the video goes. And that's one of the things the people that had left him said. They put so much. He's like, they call him a perfectionist. But when you do these types of videos, you have, like you said, the expectation is so high. You can't just be like, oh, we're gonna build this tower and it's like 4 feet tall. Like nobody's gonna want to watch it. If they could do it, they're not gonna want to watch it. You know what I mean? Like he's got to do stuff. And one of the things that I loved about him and how he runs his company, he was talking to Casey Neistat in an interview, and one of the things that I noticed with like YouTubers and vloggers, like when they do stuff the same thing over and over, it's like they get burned out, and then they always have they have a video where it's like, I have to confess, like I don't love this anymore. I'm not being myself.
Shocker.
I'm ending the vlog. Like they do these things so they break it, and it's like Casey was talking to him, was like, hey man, do you ever think like, you get tired of this and you want to quit? He's like, no. Like what I do is when I get tired of something, I hire someone to do that part. And I'm like, that is so simple and so genius. Like I'm sick of editing. Like I hate editing. Cool. Hire somebody to edit. Okay, then I get to spend time doing the thing I want. The best business people, they do that. Like you think of anybody who runs like a multi-million-dollar companies, which we have lots of friends that do that. It's like if they don't want to do something, okay, well I don't want to do the numbers. I'll hire a numbers guy. I don't want to do, I don't want to fire people.
But it's
I'll hire
risky.
a fire guy.
It's always risky, especially if you want too much control, you want whatever. So you got to have good people.
Exactly. And I think that's why he hires, like his mom runs his finances. Like, legit. And here's the funny thing.
Didn't expect you to say that.
He always wanted, I'm dead serious. The funny thing is his mom kicked him out of the house whenever she found out he quit college to do YouTube full time. He quit college like 2 weeks in. He's like Zuckerberg, but
Wow.
For YouTube videos. Yeah. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. I don't know. I shut down. You ready to go 3v3? Have I rambled a lot?
3v3.
3v3. This is where we do 3 versus 3. And the way we're going to do this is we're each going to pick 3 YouTube videos that he has done, and we are going to compete and see who picks a better team. And Neil, I'll let you go first because I've already talked too much.
Well, he filled his brother's house with slime and then bought him a new. For some reason, I think it's
bought him a new slime or bought him a new house.
Bought him a new slime.
Okay,
naturally sneezed on him. There's your slime. He like I love it when for some reason there are reaction videos, like when you get to shock somebody or they're surprised. I don't know why, like scaring people videos or prank videos, things like that. For some reason I think those are hilarious. That. Walking into a house completely ruined and filled with slime. Yeah, you bought your brother all this sort of stuff, but I don't know what it is. It seems very, very risky because it's not just you doing it. It's not just you counting to a certain number.
Yeah.
That's okay. But when you
could mess up my hard drives.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would say.
That's where my files are in my documents.
I would say it in the exact same tone as that. Your entire house is destroyed and you went, you messed up my hard drives.
And he's like, okay, I just spent like $8 million on this video. Mm-hmm. Give me a better reaction.
Yeah.
Run it again.
Better than that. Run it again from the top.
From the top. Like a drop.
How about you?
Mine is, he did it. He went through a drive-through 1,000 times. Oh. He literally would go in and order food and drive through every time. And they just were throwing the food out and then they started handing it to people. And I remember watching this video when it came out. I was like, okay, you got my attention. The one thing about it, it takes a lot longer than you would think.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
He's literally just rolling through they're pulling around, and people's reaction by like the 4th or 5th time, they're like, okay, hey. And then they were in on the joke, and they're like, all right, let's do this. You know what I mean? And he's ordering different stuff and handing.
You don't realize the time commitment that is.
Time commitment. And he's like wearing him out, and they've got the counter. When I think of those videos, you know what I regret the most is not just like sitting in the car buying all the stuff. I think of, oh, that's a lot of text and audio to push every time. Ding, ding, ding. Every time you pop a number on the screen.
It is a lot. Yeah,
I don't like that. Okay, what's your next one? Hi, me in 5 years?
Yeah, those because what that shows is he did a video called "Hi Me in 5 Years." What it shows is the forethought that you had to do it. Like you know those on TikTok. There's those hilarious videos of I took a photo of myself every day for 10 years, and they don't. They just move their face around. But the real videos are. You're like, wow, that is commitment over the long haul, which is just impressive.
Yep, and those are cool, and I love that. So what he'll do is he'll record himself and be like, hey, and record a video to himself, and then schedule it to upload 2 years or 5 years or whatever years in the future.
Auto upload.
And the cool thing is that like he's actually exceeded his own expectations with his
channel.
channel.
Isn't that wild?
It's really cool. Okay, my next one is, I already talked about it, but it's Say Logan Paul 100,000 times. It's the first one I saw, so I'm kind of connected to it, and I used to watch Logan Paul back before all this stuff went down, when he was funny.
Did we ever explain Logan Paul?
Yeah, we did. It was like second or third episode. Man, we had a good run. Man, those are the good old days. We were so young and carefree. That's when we didn't do it for the money.
Your skin was so tight.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we literally just hold it like sugar water. Pull our face back. What's your next one? Third one.
I opened up a free bake. I don't know what it is about philanthropy, but for some reason, I just think giving stuff away is really nice.
You know, he raised $23 million for the Arbor Foundation.
Really?
Yeah, because he did plant a bunch of trees. That's not.
See,
mine.
that's legit.
That's
like,
so sweet.
Okay,
he's a sweetie patootie. I love him. He's a cutie badootie.
Oh my gosh.
He's a chewy badoobie. He's a chewy sweetheart. Okay, next one. My third one. He did a free car dealership, and I watched this video. Like, I don't watch all his videos, but every now and then I'm like, okay, you take me there, Mr. Beast. And he did a free car dealership for people in his town. And they're like calling friends, and you know the friends that like didn't text or call back or answer, they're missing out. And like he's calling his grandparents, they're coming in, and he's just got all these cars parked in his driveway, and like 20 something cars, and they just got to keep them and drive away with them.
That's crazy.
And it was a free car.
Good thing he lives in Greenville, not L.A.
Yeah,
hey, he's a free car dealership. He'd be out of business.
That's every interstate in LA, from what I hear. People about LA complain about the traffic. I'm like, hey, you don't have to worry about winter. Chill. Yeah. Okay? Walk there.
Gosh.
Show me the money.
We're all moving to Greenville.
Greenbow, Alabama.
Jenny,
not a smart man. Neil, did we squeeze the juice out of this one?
You know, the only person that could actually squeeze more juice is The Rock, and he's not. He doesn't know.
Will this rock?
I mean,
would his YouTube channel be bigger or smaller if Mr. Rock?
Mr. Beast becomes Mr. Rock.
If it was Mr. Beast Rock. That's our band, by the way, Mr. Beast Rock. Go ahead.
I don't think he.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. It won't rock.
Because Mr. Beast dedicates so much time to, like, even just the idea process. They put so much time and energy in. It's not like me, I'm just like, oh, okay, I want to talk about blah, and I just hit record. They put so many hours into thinking of ideas.
Yeah.
I don't see The Rock, like, the only thing he has the patience and the consistency for to do that is working out at 2 in the
Lifting and
morning.
eating pancakes.
Lifting and, talking about Under Armour, okay? Protect his house.
I don't think it would be. I don't think Mr. Beast would benefit from that.
I think The Rock, he wants to do so many different things. I think he is like, hand me the script. He looks at it, memorizes it, walks out on set.
100%.
He does not, and then he's like, next. And Kevin Hart, he just takes a bite out of his arm.
He will become Bruce Willis.
But bolder.
Bigger. I wasn't sure
13 monkeys.
Yeah, I don't think. No, Mr. Beast will not rock.
No, he won't.
I didn't know. We've had a few here in a row that have not rocked.
You know what does rock?
Sleep.
That's how you know that it's a good podcast. He yawns in the middle of it. I'm so glad we made this a Patreon episode.
Hey.
This was my pick. Okay, I'm just going to give you all behind the scenes. BTS, if you will.
Yeah,
not the band.
If you're here.
So
we
pick 3. The way we do this right now is we pick 3 topics, and I pick 3, and he picks 3. Neil picks 3, and Neil's he. I'm sorry, I've been writing my dissertation. You can't say this. You can't say that. You have to explain what it is.
Those jerks.
This is Neil. And no, they're not jerks. They're sweethearts. If they're listening, they're definitely not listening. 10,000%.
No way.
They're not listening. And so we pick 3 topics each, and then we have to decide what goes on the main one, which gets more listens, what goes on the Patreon. What goes on the Patreon, which is Edward and Yo-Yo, if it fits in Edward's budget. Okay? I'm going to lower, because Edward pays me for YouTube TV. I'm going to be like, hey, man, I'm going to lower your budget to $10 a month.
Hey, man.
Subscribe to the Patreon for the other $3. Okay, and so we have to pick. And I had Mr. Beast, he had Emma Chamberlain. They're very similar topics.
They are very similar
because they're both YouTubers. And what if we explained Retro Rick and had Retro Rick on here?
Oh my,
that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
And then we made it a Patreon, and then we forced him to put it on his YouTube and not pull it down because him and I recorded like 5 or 6 episodes, and he doesn't publish them. Retro.
Retro.
I've subscribed to his Patreon. Don't look at anything he does, but I give him money.
Hey,
I don't care.
Would Retro Rick, will he rock?
We'll have to find out when we do that.
Wow.
Tell you this
is good.
Retro, we're looking at you, bro. Hey, I got a question. Who influenced you to do all the things that make you all this money now? Show us some love, bro.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, we got hot.
Yeah.
What if we did YouTube? I'm sorry I touched you. YouTubers boxing, me and Retro Rick.
Oh,
Retro Rick is way more
naturally.
popular.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I would go. My money's on you.
Oh, yeah, my money's on me, too. I would definitely bet a lot of money on me.
My money's
I like
on
Rick, and
me.
he's going to beat me in golf every day of the week.
Great.
But I feel quite confident I could take him in a boxing match. Dude, what if we started internet beef with Retro Rick and we do this?
We could do it. And then eventually somebody's going to do like a rapper beef, but they're going to do internet beefs, and they're going to talk about us and Retro Rick.
I mean, it's going to happen. We've been begging people to do a supercut of us for like 18. All
Please
Neil's like junior high nicknames, all the Joseph Tilley supercuts. That's all we want. And instead, I'd rather put all those eggs in the Fighting Retro Rick for Money basket.
That's why they're here.
Bruh. I would live stream that. Do we need to end this? You were like, we should have ended it before the yawn, dude.
No.
Bro, this is the Patreon. We can be real with these people. I'm literally sitting back, relaxing.
We are real with you guys.
Maxing all cooling.
Hey, in all seriousness, thank you for subscribing on Patreon.
It means the world
Thank you for supporting. We really do appreciate it.
It shows you actually value us, not just say you value us. Mm-hmm. You put a value to us, and that's $3 a month.
I was going to say, there's a real dollar amount to this.
Yeah. For real. Tell your friends, or else we will find you, and we will say, that's cool, we understand. Do I need to end it, Neil? I'm not going to end it.
No.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk! Bye! What is our band? What did we say our band was earlier? Mr. Beast Rock. Mr. Beast Rock! Black and black! My voice doesn't handle that anymore.
Nope. We just yelled really loud, and now the janitors are going to come in and kick us out.
Okay. Toodles magoodles. That's not the exit. TED Talk!
Bye.
Wrap it up.
Thanks for listening to the Explain Everything podcast. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Explain Everything Podcast. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but you're already here. We love you. Actually, no. We're in love with you. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.